Anonymous says, you've warned against multisig, but also recommended the Smart Custody book, Smart Custody 2.0, under edit, currently in draft, goes into multisig. Do you see multisig ever becoming safe to use? I need to clarify here because this is a misunderstanding of my position. Multisig is a fantastic tool for security, specifically Bitcoin's on-chain multisig is a fantastic tool for security, and it has numerous applications. It is incredibly secure. And if properly deployed, you can balance the security that you get from multisig with recoverability. The key question there is if properly deployed. What I have said is that multisig is unsuitable for non-technical users who do not fully appreciate the risks that multisig introduces in the area of recoverability, specifically the fact that because multisig addresses our hash of the multisig script, which contains the public keys of all of the participating keys. So for example, if you have a 2 of 3, you need 3 public keys to construct the multisig address that you need in order to sign. So even though you only need 2 of the 3 keys to apply the signature, the thing you're applying the signature against, which is the address, requires all 3 public keys, which means you have to have a backup of the XPubs. If any of the things that I just said didn't immediately make sense to you, you're like, oh, well, of course, if you don't have the 3 XPubs, then you can generate the 3 public keys in the specific sequence to generate the addresses that are hashed into the scripts that are hashed into the address of the multisig. And therefore, when you try to recover, because the signature is applied to the multisig script and the script itself contains the public keys, then I would be at a loss to do that. If any of that wasn't immediately obvious to you, then without any judgment, you do not have the technical skills to manage multisig. It's really as simple as that. And it's not a suitable technique for your own private key security. So there's a specific technique called multi-factor multisig or single user multisig, where you basically have 3 seeds and you store backups of them, and you use 2 of the 3 seeds to sign transactions. And that way, if you lose 1 seed, you have the other 2. And that is a technique that a very advanced expert user could use to secure their own funds. There's a whole other category of multisig, which is multi-user multisig, which is the most common deployment of multisig, and that comes in 2 broad applications. One is if you have a company and you don't want the CEO, let's call the CEO Sam, for example, to be able to run away with all the money or give it to his girlfriend or whatever, and you want to have balance and separation of duties and segregation of controls, then what you do is you use the kind of corporate operational multisig where you have, say, a 3 of 5, and it takes 3 executives with their own seeds generated separately to sign for any transaction out of the corporate funds. So a single executive, without the cooperation of at least 2 others, cannot raid the company's funds. So that's a different form of multisig. And again, the people who are doing that usually have the operational expertise to do that and do it correctly. Finally, there's a multi-user multisig where it's your funds, but you have other organizations acting as a service provider having a minority of the seeds. This is important, a minority of the seeds, meaning that organization can't spend funds, but that organization has backups in case you lose one of your seeds or devices. This is the model of Unchained Capital, or CASA. It's used for inheritance planning, and it's used for kind of recoverability and security. And this is where you have a hybrid custody model where you still have majority control, but the other company has backups to help you in case you have a problem. Again, that is an entire framework using multisig as a building component, but they also know how to properly back up all of the XPubs and set up all of the devices and do that. So it's a managed service. That is a good choice for many people. The one thing I'm saying is don't go and try to do multisig as a 2 of 3 with 3 seeds of your own without expert supervision if you don't understand the nuances of recoverability for a multisig. And the vast majority of people don't understand the nuances. I didn't understand the nuances even after I've used that kind of scheme for a while. So it's for experts, and you don't go playing the game at a much harder level than you're ready to play. Don't go for the big boss until you've leveled up.